The next important topics to be discussed is about the Federal Reserve System. Federal Reserve System is the central bank of US. It is known as the most powerful financial institution in the world, and it was founded by US Congress in the year 1913. And this Federal Reserve System, shortly it is known as, in short, FRS, it comprises of 12 Federal Reserve Bank, and this 12 Federal Reserve Bank represents different geographical area in the US, and it is simply known as the Fed. They provide safe, flexible and stable monetary and financial system. Or the most important duty of Federal Reserve System is to provide the country with a safe, flexible and stable monetary and financial system, and main duty is to, or main duties includes conducting national monetary policy, supervising and regulating banks, maintaining financial stability and providing banking services. These are the major duties or major functions of Federal Reserve System, that is conducting national monetary policy, supervising and regulating banks, maintaining financial stability and providing banking services. The most important functions, in addition to the functions given in the earlier section, that is the major, traditional and developmental functions, the important functions performed by US Federal Reserves are conducting national monetary policy by influencing monetary and credit condition in the US economy, and it is to ensure maximum employment, stable price and moderate long-term interest rate. Therefore, the most important function of a Federal Reserve System is the creation or the conducting of national monetary policy for the economy as a whole. Second important function is the supervising and regulating banking institution to ensure the safety of the US banking and financial system and to protect consumers' credit right. This is the second important function, that is the supervision and regulation of banking institution to ensure safe banking and financial system and also to protect the consumers' credit right. Third important function is maintaining financial system stability and containing systemic risk. That is, in addition to the above functions, the Federal Reserve System has to, in addition to the above functions, the Federal Reserve System also manages the financial system, and it is to make a stable and risk-free economy or risk-free financial system. Third important function is maintaining financial system by providing stable and risk-free economy. The fourth important function is the provision of financial services, including a pivotal role in operating the national payment system, depository institutions, US governments and the foreign official institutions. These are the four important or the major functions of Federal Reserve System. First one is conducting monetary policy, second one is supervising and regulating the banking institution, third one is maintaining financial system stability and provision of risk-free financial system, then fourth one is the provision of financial services. Then the most important component of Federal Reserve System is known as the Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC. This FOMC is responsible for creation of monetary policy in the US economy, or they are the monetary policy making body. It is responsible for open market operations including buying and selling of securities. And the FOMC include Board of Governors, the President of this Federal Reserve Bank of New York, and the Presidents of four other regional Federal Reserve Bank. They are responsible for monetary policy decisions which are categorized into three areas, that is maximizing employment, stabilizing prices, moderating long-term interest rate. Moderating long-term interest rates. First two are known as Fed's dual mandate, that is maximizing employment and stabilizing prices. The FOMC is the major responsibility of FOMC is the monetary policy decisions, and which are categorized into three. They are maximizing employment, stabilizing prices, and moderating long-term interest rate. And the first two are usually known as Fed's dual mandate. They are the most important or the crucial decisions to be taken by the FOMC. Therefore, Federal Open Market Committee is responsible for maintaining or for the creation of monetary policy in the US economy or in the Federal Reserve System. The structure of Federal Reserve System can be summarized as follows. At the apex level, it is the Board of Governors, then there are Federal Reserve Banks, then there will be member banks and other depository institutions, then Federal Open Market Committee and Advisory Committee. The Federal Board of Governors is the leader, they are the leading institution or the leading Board of Governors are the leaders of this Federal Reserve System. At the apex level, they are the leaders, and the Board of Governors will be located in the Washington DC. Their main functions include provide guidelines about the monetary policy, take decisions about the international economic and financial conditions, provision of consumer banking laws, in electronic commercial system, then supervisory function of financial services, etc. In addition to these activities, the Board of Governors' most important duty is to participate in the Federal Open Market Committee's decision making. Therefore, this Board of Governors is the apex body of the Federal Reserve System. They will be taking the most or almost all the important decision. Federal Reserve Bank is the second category or second structure layer of the Federal Reserve System. This comprises of 12 Federal Reserve Bank, which represents different geographical areas. Then third one is the member bank. Member banks includes nearly 38% of the banks in US are the members of the Federal Reserve System. The national banks have to be or they must be in the Federal Reserve System. State chartered bank may join if they meet certain requirements. Then fourth one is other depository institutions. In addition to these member banks, nearly 17,000 other depository institutions also comes under this. They mainly provides banking services to the public. This includes saving banks, credit unions, credit associations, etc. Then the fifth layer is the Federal Open Market Committee. Their main responsibility is the creation, or they are the monetary policy making mechanism in the FRS. And finally, they have an advisory council. This advisory council consists of three councils: Federal Advisory Council, then Consumer Advisory Council, Thrift Institution Advisory Council. They mainly take decisions about the current interest rate. These are the this is the structure of Federal Reserve System. That is, at the apex level, there will be Board of Governors. They are responsible for all the supervision of the Federal Reserve. Then second one, there will be the Federal Reserve Banks, which comprises of 12 federal banks. In the US, then there will be other member banks and other depository institutions. And the fifth layer is the Federal Open Market Committee, which is responsible for the creation of the monetary policy mechanism in the country. And one is the Advisory Council. They provide decisions or the suggestions regarding the rate of interest, etc.